They don't value life outside of Israeli Jewish life. That's the cold hard truth. Israel is an apartheid ethno-state based on supremacy, whether they want to accept it or not.
An apartheid ethno-state is a nation that enforces ethnic segregation and dominance by one group.
They sit there and say they're democracy. Yeah, democracy only for Jews and 2 million Palestinians. But the other millions that live under their occupation in the Gaza Strip and in the West Bank have no rights whatsoever. You cannot be an apartheid while sitting there and saying that you're a democracy. You can't. The two cannot coexist. The two are actually completely antithetical to each other. 600 people were killed on October 7th by Hamas at most. Is that proportionate to bombing and killing 60,000 plus? Harvard estimates it somewhere between 300,000 to 400,000. Other sources say well over 100,000. The 60,000 is just what we have confirmed. Any way you slice it, the defense of Israel is an indefensible position, and it's a losing position every single time.
Yeah, I think it's very, very hard. Like on my Instagram stories, I'm tagged. You know how you go to see what stories you're tagged on? Stories, videos. Just, you don't even know what's going on over here, what they're doing. I'm like, yeah, you're going to only send me one side. None of the videos are easy to watch. And then I get messages from Israel. You don't know what's going on over here. And I got it yesterday. I won't give any names, but, these are people that are in Israel saying, you don't even know what they're doing to the Christians and to this and this. I'm also not fully there. But I have the ability to watch both sides, and I understand why you're sending me the clips to say what, Palestinians are doing to Christians and Jews, and I understand why you would send me the clips to say what Jews are doing to Gaza and Palestinians. You have to find a way to not be emotionally caught up, because then you are a victim of propaganda, and they got you. Hook, line, sinker, you're done. And
dude, see, Patrick is doing everything in his power to stay neutral here, right? And try to be the voice of reason. But the reality is bro, this is why shilling for Israel is an L. It's very simple. There's one side on the right and one side on the, not even in the right. I'm not even going to say one side on the right. I'm just going to say there's one side on the wrong, 1,000%, and that is Israel. That is Israel, bro. There's no justification for dropping bombs on babies, destroying hospitals, destroying churches, destroying mosques, killing innocent people. We know it's 60,000. Guys, this just counts for the people that they have in the morgue, right? The Gaza Health Ministry. This does not count for the people that are missing. This doesn't count for the people that died from malnutrition, died from preventable diseases, died from their injuries and the wounds. No, that's just the people that got bombed and died immediately. So Patrick is trying to take a middle ground stance on a position that isn't a middle ground. It's either you're for the genocide or you're not. It's very simple. What Israel is doing is indefensible. He's trying to kind of propaganda and those other shit. That's fine. Both sides are always going to push out their propaganda, right? But when you remove the fucking propaganda smoke, what Israel's doing is indefensible, bro. It's indefensible. It really is. And I want you guys to not forget, why did this all start? This all started from October 7th, okay? And I told you guys this before, but I'm going to tell you guys again. October 7th, 1,200 Israelis were killed. 400 of the killed were IDF soldiers, enemy combatants. Fair game, unfortunately, in the game of war, right? Next, we know 200 at least were killed by the Hannibal Directive, right? So we go from 1,200 minus 400, 800. Then we take another 200 that we know were killed confirmed by the IDF Hannibal Directive. That leaves us with 600. Okay? So what does that mean? Of the 600 people that were killed, that is the absolute max that Hamas killed. Okay? On that day. Now let's just talk about proportionality here. Is it fair, assuming Hamas killed all those 600, let's assume they killed all those 600, is it fair to bomb and destroy a heavily populated area of 2 million plus people, killing 20 to 30,000 kids confirmed, 20 to 30,000 kids confirmed. Mind you, Gaza was 50% minors before they invaded. It was roughly around 2 to 2.3 million people that lived in the Gaza Strip. About 50% of them were children under the age of 18. Okay? So the staggering majority of people that have been killed and displaced have been innocent children. For 600, is it worth killing 60,000, 30,000 of those being kids, more than likely? Is it worth it? I would say no. But this goes back to my original point that I've made for years now at this point. Israel is an apartheid ethno-state based on supremacy, whether they want to accept it or not. They'll sit there and tell you guys, oh, but we're a democracy. No, they're not. A democracy does not have millions living under its occupation with no right or voice to go ahead and vote or have any type of sovereignty. Israel is not a democracy. It's an apartheid. You cannot be an apartheid while sitting there and saying that you're a democracy. You can't. The two cannot coexist. The two are actually completely antithetical to each other. To everybody else, to all the idiots, they sit there and say they're democracy. Yeah, democracy only for Jews and 2 million Palestinians. But the other millions that live under their occupation in the Gaza Strip and in the West Bank have no rights whatsoever. And this doesn't even account for the thousands of Palestinians that are in fucking prison without charge, which is why October 7th happened in the fucking first place, by the way. Because Israel is holding hundreds, if not thousands, of Palestinians prisoners as hostages. And it goes back to what I told you guys before. They don't value life outside of Israeli Jewish life. That's the truth. That's the cold hard truth. They won't say this. They won't admit this. Publicly, at least. Maybe Ben Gvir will, because he's a retard and he's fucking genocidal maniac. And he's a part of the government, by the way, FYI. But the point is 600 people were killed on October 7th by Hamas at most, doing the math. Is that proportionate to bombing and killing 60,000 plus? Harvard estimates it's somewhere between 300,000 to 400,000. Other sources say well over 100,000. The 60,000 is just what we have confirmed. Doesn't account for all the other stuff. So, any way you slice it, the defense of Israel is an indefensible position, and it's a losing position every single time. And Pat is trying to take a neutral stance here, because I do think Pat is a Zionist. He's been to Israel before. Obviously, there's business relations that he doesn't want to sever, because we know how they run certain industries. But dude, like, fuck Israel, man. Like, they're indefensible. Indefensible.
All you see is that. And I'm seeing, believe it or not, more and more people now kind of stepping away and saying, oh, shit, I got a little bit in too deep here. Let me step back a little bit and see what happened. Neither side is innocent, but this side is.
Well, again, you're right. Neither side is innocent. But the Israelis are far worse. Far fucking worse.
Is definitely not innocent with the history that they have. If they're so great, why isn't nobody else from the other side taking them? You keep coming back more this way. And I get that, the motive of the other side, where they're at, what they're up to. But you have to be very, very careful that you only see and hear and read what you want to see and read that validates your point. Because then you have so many blind spots. So many. And you can't be reasonable. Now you're just fighting to be right. One of the best things.
Well, there's one side that's definitely wrong here. And, man, this is so disappointing. I get it. He's trying to be neutral. He doesn't want to burn bridges. But, dude, just don't talk about the topic. Like, if I were him, guys, like, bro, all these guys that, like, don't want to shit on Israel for business, very clearly for business reasons, right? Because if you shit on Israel, it's going to fuck you up politically and financially. Just don't talk on this topic, bro. Be like DJ Khaled. Just don't talk shit, bro. Don't say nothing, dude. Because you're gonna take an L talking about this topic.
Things about this exercise of sitting with the guys last week, not last week. Jubilee. You know what was great about it? To sit and talk to a bunch of 20-year-olds. One guy was probably 45, 50 years. I don't know why he was there. But to sit and talk to all these other guys that are students, it's also to see, okay, that's an interesting argument. Let me go look into that. Like, I myself have things to go look into after the conversation with them to say, why did they say this? What was this? Okay, got it. This one. Well, this got a good point here. One of the guys had a good point that I brought him back at the end to debate it. But I can't just go thinking, I'm going to beat everybody in this. No. Because then you'll never learn. You'll only be one-sided. The Gentleman's Series, VT merch. Let me tell you.
Yeah, very bad take from PBD here. Disagree 100%. It's very obvious that he's trying to avoid certain conflicts that inevitably come when you talk about this topic and you're critical of Israel. Because let's be honest, they run the media, they run the banking system, they run YouTube, etc. Talking about this topic negatively can absolutely fuck you up. So, you know, PBD doesn't want to take a side on this because it's extremely divisive and can cause them, you know, financial hardship or censorship or whatever. And not everybody's prepared to deal with it, chat. Like, here's the other thing too. Like, guys, not everybody is willing, right, to put their nuts on a chopping block. Very few people are willing to do that shit, bro. Right? Not everybody's like me and crazy enough to say, yo, what the fuck? This is some bullshit. You know? It is what it is, guys. A lot of YouTubers are just not willing to talk about this shit for a bunch of reasons. Right? You could lose your platform. You got people working for you that depend on you, etc. I get it. But if you're gonna go ahead and have like a bad take like that, just don't even share, bro. Because look at this, bro. The amount of dislikes on this. Holy, the people don't lie, bro. See, look, PBD is under APAC control. See, you can't fool the people, bro. You can't fool the people. The people are fucking smart. You know what I mean? The people are smart, bro. Why can't this guy ever call out Israel? Yeah, it's very obvious that he's not going to do it because in his world, bro, calling out them boys is career suicide. PBD comes from the business insurance world, bro. You know who runs that shit. Also, South Florida. Yeah. That might be why they haven't invited me back in a minute now that I think about it, bro. It's been a minute since I've been on the PBD podcast, bro. That might be why. Now that I think about it, man, that might be why I haven't been there for so long. Oh, man. I might cause them some problems.